everybody. Today we're talking about a high-octane thrill ride movie from the early 2000s. We're talking about Gone in 60 Seconds.
No, we're not talking about Gone in 60 Seconds. It's supposed to be Gandhi.
Gandhi, not Gone in... I'll be right back.
3 hours later.
Okay. Now that we're back, we are here to talk about Gandhi from 1982, right here on Mallard Matinee. Yes, this is the month of biopics, or biopics, if you are my friend to the right of me. And today we are talking about 1982's Gandhi, directed by Richard Attenborough. If you didn't know that, it says it right in the title card.
Yeah.
Richard Attenborough's film, Gandhi.
Yeah, he owns it.
So I guess, yeah, you know it's his. And this is an award-winning movie. It won a bunch of awards. Ben Kingsley won a bunch of awards. But I had never seen this movie before in my life. This is my first viewing. It's a movie that I was always interested in. I'm a big fan of Ben Kingsley. I do like a lot of his work. But before we get too much into the movie, let's introduce ourselves, starting with yourself.
I am Lewis Lightning, and yeah, as far as this film goes, like, I was kind of not really aware of it for the longest time. Like, this is my first time watching it too, by the way. I watched it probably pretty close to a month ago. I watched this film, but yeah, I knew of Ben Kingsley. Like, I don't know exactly when I first saw him. I know when he was going to appear in Iron Man 3. I was like, oh yeah, I like Ben Kingsley and stuff. Yeah. And then I kind of look back at some of his stuff, like, where did I know him from? And I'm like, oh, he was Gandhi. And like, oh yeah, I could see that. Even though I never saw the film, I was like, oh yeah, I could see that. And yeah, he's a great actor. So I was more than happy to do a review on the film that got him his Oscar.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I'd never seen this movie before, but being a fan of Ben Kingsley, and I had recently watched the TV show, the Disney Plus show, Wonder Man, and he's very prominent in that show. And I do like his character of Trevor Slattery, even though he is like the fake Mandarin. I do like his character of the fake Mandarin, Trevor Slattery, and I do like him in that show. And so I was like, I'm on a high of Ben Kingsley. Let's do Gandhi for our next biopic. But I also gotta give props to a friend of ours, Muskeg, because he's the one that actually suggested this movie when we said we were doing biopics. He said, do Gandhi. I haven't seen that in years, so do that episode. Yeah. So we did it. I was like, yeah, this is our review of Gandhi, I guess. And I will start out with some, I guess the actors is usually what we like to do. Yeah. And obviously the most prominent one is Gandhi himself, Ben Kingsley. So what did you think about Ben Kingsley in the role?
Oh, he's great. And like he does so well going from like a young Gandhi, which we're introduced in not the very beginning, but in the earlier parts of the movie, we see young Gandhi like in South Africa. Mm-hmm. And then like it kind of goes through almost his entire life, because we see him like when he's an old man, when he gets assassinated. And like his character changes, like how he acts, how he talks, everything changes. And Ben Kingsley just nailing it out of the park the whole time. Yeah. So yeah, I thought Kingsley was just fantastic in his role.
I couldn't imagine anybody else in this role, honestly, because I thought he did it perfectly. Like he looks the part and he acts the part. Like he was Gandhi. And I did a bunch of like research about the movie after the fact, and apparently like when he was like walking through town squares in India and stuff, a lot of people thought that was the reincarnation of Gandhi. They thought it was a ghost. They thought he was back. Like, what? Gandhi's back? Part 2. But no. And I agree. Ben Kingsley just nailed the role like perfectly. I understand why he got his Oscar, because he did an excellent job. Some other characters that were in the movie. Lord Irwin, John Gielgud. I'm trying to remember even who he was. I haven't written down. I don't remember why. I have Roshan Seth. Was Pandit Nehru, and I only put him down because I recognize him from Indiana Jones. Yes. So and Indiana Jones, he was Chatter Lal, if you didn't know. So I put him down because he was in there quite a bit too. Like he was one of his helpers throughout the movie. He was really by his side a lot of the time.
He's one of the politicians in India that he dealt with a lot.
Yeah. So I mean, I think he did a serviceable role as Gandhi's helper, being a politician, and did a good job in that spot. And he also, you saw him age also from a younger version to an older version of himself as well too. I also have Martin Sheen as well too, because that's a notable actor that was in. It was not a very big role, but he's an actor that I recognize, so I could say okay, I know this guy. I'm aware of his acting. But yeah, what did you think about Martin Sheen?
Oh, he was good. I mean, his role is just so small. Like I don't think it even really needs to be in there.
Yeah. It could have been anybody, basically, I think, that role. It's not like Martin Sheen did anything stellar that stand out or anything like that for the movie. I also had his wife's name. Rohini Hattagadi was the woman that played Kasturba Gandhi, was his wife.
Yeah, I mean, she was fine, but it's not about even her in this film. Like, she's a very minor character. More the other politicians are more important and have more screen time than she does.
Yeah. I just didn't want to have a list of actors and just have one actor.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they had Candice Bergen.
Yeah, she was Candice Bergen.
Bergen.
Yeah, Murphy Brown. She's in it as well.
She's just like a photographer that kind of ends up befriending him, or at least talking to him quite a bit.
Yeah, near the later part of his life. But again,
that's towards the end too. Like, she probably has as much screen time as Sheen does.
Yeah. So fun fact that I read about Sheen though too is that he actually donated all of his earnings for this movie. So I thought that was actually, I guess people were inspired by this movie is probably the reasoning why he would have donated his money, because he was
donate to who?
He was I don't remember. I think I wrote it down, but I don't know who did. He donated to his wife. No, I don't know who he donated to, but he donated his earnings, which is that's something Gandhi would have been for, I think. But yeah, so the movie starts off at his assassination. Spoiler alert, right?
Yeah.
Which I wasn't surprised that's what it was, because right away you see this guy and he obviously had. I looked at him like he was determined to do something, and he looked like he was serious. And you saw a bunch of people crowded around Gandhi, and he's walking, and he comes up to me and he pops him and he shoots him down.
He bows down first, then he goes up and shoots him.
Yeah, true. So I can't say I was surprised, and you saw how old he was right away. He's like, okay, this is the end of his life. I'm sure. But it's going to be.
I was wondering if that was how it really happened too. Like, I looked it up a bit, and it seemed like this guy was actually he tried to kill Gandhi several times. He was arrested like twice before for attempting to kill Gandhi.
Oh.
And then so you think, like, is that really how it happened? Like, this guy that everyone knew tried to kill Gandhi twice.
Yeah, it's just led him through to the front lines.
Seems strange, but yeah.
Yeah.
Biopics don't have to always be 100% accurate, so
true. Like it's kind of like the Pope. Like, the Pope has a lot of security. You think that Gandhi would have had the same kind of level of security around him as well too.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like it at all. But yeah, so it starts off in 1948, which is when Gandhi died, and then it jumps back to him as a younger attorney. He was I guess he was in first class on the train, so he was a guy who was used to like the more lavish lifestyle. So it's kind of neat to see that version of him as a younger Gandhi. Seeing Ben Kingsley with hair, which is I don't think I've ever seen Ben Kingsley with hair before this actually.
I seen like a full head of hair. I guess like not how it was cut in the film, but I've seen him with full hair before.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah, maybe with like short hair, but you can still you can tell he's a balder guy.
I think he looks better with like just shaved head or whatever you want to call it.
I'm thinking that might have even been a wig too, because I don't know.
Oh, I think that was a wig.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he would have had a wig at that point. And it was neat to see him on the train, and right away this is where you get in the discrimination against colored people. He's not supposed to be sitting in first class.
I find it odd that he wouldn't have known about that even back then at that time. Like, yeah, you don't go on that train in South Africa without expecting to be.
Yeah, and has he not ever encountered this in his whole life before? Has he never had this?
Everyone else there seems to know it, so it's like, I don't know, was he completely naive traveling there and had no idea?
Yeah, was he just like in a little bubble his whole life until this moment that he's never actually experienced it? And it seems to be the moment that kick-started his plight, or what he goes for against
activism.
Yeah, his activism, exactly. And then so like I said, jump back to 1893, which is when that was. And then this is a movie that I like that because it does show snippets, sections of his life from when he was younger to when he ages out, when he gets older. So I do like that. I want that in a biopic, unlike kind of like our more recent review that we did of Stan and Ollie, which is more of a small window of their life. This is like a big, broad version of their life. It's him younger to when he gets older, and a lot of that stuff in between. The more prominent moments in his life, I guess.
Well, like I have a note here. I gotta wonder, did they give him prosthetic ears, or did they make it so his ears were kind of more outwards? Because I feel like sometimes it didn't look quite right, like something was unnatural about them. And I wonder if they did that, because I know Gandhi's ears were more out like that, and I wonder if they did that for Kingsley.
Or maybe they just looks that way because he was bald and his ears are more prominent. Maybe they might have given that, because obviously they blacked out his teeth to make it look like he was missing teeth later on in his life, so he would match the look of the guy more. I like that they did that. They showed him younger to older and all that stuff. And then one thing I also know, we mentioned Temple of Doom. Well, it's like there was another Temple of Doom actor in the movie, Mallard Matinee.
Yeah, he was in there too. He was like an ambassador or something. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah, I don't even remember what his character was, but as soon as I saw him, I was like, oh shit, that's fucking Mallard Matinee.
I know I recognized him, but I didn't connect him to Temple Doom like I did the other guy.
Okay, this one I connected first before I saw the other guy. I was like, this one he stood out way more for me, but it wasn't as big of a role as the other fellow from Temple of Doom.
But I was gonna say in the South Africa stuff, I found it a little hypocritical for like Gandhi being like oh, you know, we should have equal rights as British citizens, blah blah blah. Meanwhile, they have all these black people that are working as slaves.
Yeah,
and he doesn't give a shit about their plight. It was just the Indian people.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, they were working. The black dude is the one on the train that was noticed him.
Yeah,
and yeah, is he a slave though? Maybe he was getting paid. I don't know.
Well, they were being treated differently. We know that.
Regardless, yeah, they even use the word colored. So yeah, obviously they're definitely discriminating against them for the get go. And then I was one moment. It's kind of early on where he's like being bullied by these three bullies on the street, and then like the mom calls out. I was like, I thought there was gonna be a callback to them at some point as well too, but I think I was looking it up, and apparently like Daniel Day-Lewis was in this movie. I think he was one of those bullies apparently.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's the way I had it written out is like Daniel Day-Lewis played the young hoodlum named Colin, and this would have been his first.
There was someone named Colin. I think that was the mom was calling that name.
I think so, and so this would have been his like first theatrical movie, which is that's pretty big because Daniel Day-Lewis became a big name after this.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything else you want to jump
Not
to.
in that particular thing, but
Okay.
like I don't know if it was in South Africa or later, but they show like Gandhi like building. Yeah, I think it's in South Africa because he met that priest and that priest came to visit him, and they're like building houses out there for like this community and stuff. And I'm like, I thought Gandhi was a lawyer, but he was also apparently running this thing where he like basically the Habitat for Humanity. They're building houses and stuff. Like, what is he doing exactly? Like, what's his job?
I don't know. Things are different over there. Their lawyers do more.
No.
I don't know. I was just noticed a couple of visual things. Like I liked when Gandhi had his mohawk. I thought that was pretty slick. That's a pretty sweet style he had there. And I also wondered, like you mentioned about his ears. Did they also darken his skin a bit too?
I think they had to.
Because I don't think Ben Kingsley's naturally that dark. I know he is part Indian, but I don't know if his skin is naturally as dark as they made him out to be.
I didn't know he was part Indian, but like I think he like I knew he's darker skinned. Like he's not like completely white like. A German guy or a Nordic person like that. Like his skin tone seemed like it was more, I don't want to say Mediterranean, but apparently I was even off there.
Yeah, like I wasn't sure myself if he was part Indian. I looked up his history, and he was actually born in the same province as Gandhi too.
Oh.
So it's kind of cool that they actually went to someone that was from the same area. And yeah, he's part Indian, he's part British, but he was actually born in India. So I like, okay, they didn't like dark skin like a white person. Like apparently at one point Anthony Hopkins was kind of rumored to be in a Gandhi movie as well too, which would have been he probably would have won an award for it back in '82. But nowadays it's probably problematic. I don't think he'd be able to do something like that. So I think it's the right choice to choose someone that was actually of Indian descent to be, especially like an Indian savior, basically.
Yeah,
which makes sense.
I wonder because they also have like an argument with Gandhi and his wife when he's like, oh, everyone shares the chores and like cleaning up the toilets and stuff, and she's like not going to do it. And then he like, does he hit her? Or he tries to hit her. He threatens her at least.
He was stern with her. I don't think he hit her. He was never like physically violent with anybody.
It never really comes up again, like him and his wife, like that. Like she passes away and he feels bad, but they don't really have anything else that comes up between them.
Well, that was like the start of his like activism, basically.
Yeah.
I don't think she was quite getting what he was doing, and she still felt like they were above a lot of people, like because like I said, he was first class on the train earlier, so I think she's used to still having that kind of a life and having people work for them, where he's like, no, we're going to be the same level as everybody else. We are no better than anybody. Yeah. And I don't think she was quite getting that yet, and it was at that moment I think she realized what his plight was about.
But I wonder if that was like a reference to like a lot of people have said he wasn't very nice to women, so I wonder if that was a reference to that, just kind of showing that he could be violent, but without like, because that's the only time it ever comes up. He never like he has interactions with that he calls it his daughter, that one woman who comes to move in with him.
Yeah.
Or then Candice Bergen's character. like, and they're all fine. But I wonder if that was kind of like a nudge that he could be.
It might be, because even some of the reviews that I was finding out about Gandhi, people were saying that he was kind of racist, and he was kind of misogynistic as well too. So maybe that was kind of a bit of a hint toward him being misogynistic. But they also didn't want to get into that too much, because he is praised as this savior. They don't want to say anything negative about this guy, more so than maybe. If he says a little bit about to his wife, being a little bit stern, that's quite all right. I guess it's understandable.
Because then, they show that march that they do like in South Africa, where all the workers at, what is that place again? What's that? Some kind of factory or something. They're all working. It's a mine.
Yeah, the salt one you're talking about.
Like
salt,
and like they have all like the British police on horse, like come riding at the people, so they just lay down because. Apparently horses won't run over a person willingly.
I guess so. Yeah, it shows them like stomping, but not on the people, like they avoiding them.
Which you think like, oh, that's a great moment, but then later they say like, oh, every Indian in that march got arrested, and it's like, well, why didn't we see that?
Yeah, true.
The way it frames it, it's like, oh, they kind of got away by being sneaky.
It's what it seems like. It seems like they just the horses and the military guys just kind of left and like, oh, you got us this time, almost sort of thing.
Yeah, but they arrested them all, but we just don't see that.
Yeah, true.
I shouldn't say sneaky, but at least they got through that by being intelligent. But they didn't get through.
Yeah, they could have at least mentioned it, because we do see Gandhi and a lot of people getting arrested a lot in this movie. Like, he's arrested a lot, which I can understand why people might think that he died in jail as one of those Mandela effects things. Or I stupidly mixed them up with Nelson Mandela, hence the term Mandela effect. Because he's been in jail so much of his life, it seems like. But I mean, it's not something that I ever knew because he died so long ago. But it was one of those Mandela effects that people thought he died in jail because he's just been in jail so much.
Yeah. And then after he's in jail, that's when he starts dressing differently. He starts dressing like in his like swaddled clothes and stuff. And he says he dresses that way to like be dressed like the people he knows that are imprisoned and stuff. And I was just like, no one in prison was dressed like that. They weren't. They were wearing like
they were wearing
jumpsuits.
Yeah, they were wearing like actual full outfits. Yeah.
And he's just wearing like a diaper and the head wrap. That's about it.
Mm-hmm. And I liked when we saw them on the train at one point, and all the people were on the train, and he's like, they had to like climb to the roof because they couldn't like quite fit inside the train. Like that's happening nowadays in fucking India. There's like no safety concern whatsoever. They had the one the priest was on too. They're like, hey, duck down, because they had to go inside the tunnel there. That's kind of a good moment, I thought. It's like nowadays they're still doing that.
Yeah. Well, okay. Speaking of that shot, I thought that went on like a long time. Like he goes back to India, and we see for a long time like they're riding this train back to his like the home province or whatever it is in India that they have.
Yeah.
And that goes on quite a bit. Like it stops times and they're like, I don't know, cleaning their clothes in the water or fishing or something like that. We see all these shots. And it's like, that goes on for like 5 minutes or something. It just felt like a long time. I was like, for a movie that's like 3 hours, do we really need it to be?
True, you could tighten it up a little bit.
Yeah, I would definitely cut some of that out and like.
Yeah, and there's a lot of this movie where it's like a lot of the political stuff too. Like you'll see like the British politics of things and them trying to stop Gandhi, and then you see also like Gandhi and all like their political things. And I think it might be necessary, but maybe some of that could have been trimmed a little bit as well too. There was a lot of it, and that's why I'm not going through like the whole movie here, because there's a lot of it was that stuff.
Well, I was like how they're always talking about how like the British are causing the divisions within India, but yet the whole time like they're always arguing amongst themselves about being like different types of Indians, whether they're Muslims or Hindu or something else, or all these different things. And it's like, you guys are kind of divided anyways between yourselves. Like, I'm not saying that Britain did nothing wrong, but as a pot calling the kettle black, and you guys are both doing it.
I mean, we're divided in Canada too. You know, you got Western Canada, and then you got the French.
Yeah, but I don't sit here saying that it's the government's fault.
No. I'm just kidding. We love you too, French. Sometimes.
And then I don't know why. I have here. I don't know why the British soldiers were worried about Gandhi returning back to like the poorer areas. Like the landlords were the problem, but we didn't see the landlords at the time. I was like, are they British or like? I guess they're more like landowners than landlords. I just assumed that they were other Indians. That's what I assumed. I didn't realize that there was just landowners and stuff. So
yeah, no, I don't know. I wasn't quite sure about that. But I will say there was one kind of like harrowing scene in the movie where you see like the military going through this I guess this is alleyway.
Yeah.
And there's like a tank and there's a bunch of vehicles and there's a bunch of people walking, and then they go to like this
well.
It's there's a well of a bunch of people. There's like thousands of Indian people, and they're having, I don't know if it was like a peaceful protest or what it was. They're all gathered here, and then the military, they come out and they just slaughter the people.
Yeah.
Like they just shoot them to shit. Like they probably would have used that tank if it would have fit through.
Because they have like a hearing afterwards, and he says like, yeah, I would have used that if I could bring it in, because he couldn't get through like a narrow archway or alleyway or something.
Yeah, I thought that was brutal. Like if that's true, this is a true story. So
it's like there was men and women, or sorry, women and children.
Yeah,
women and children in there that got killed too, and
yeah, that was a brutal part of the movie. I was like, I'm glad they showed that to kind of show like the extremes of things that they were going through. But yeah, it was pretty brutal.
It was brutal, but I think some of like the acting of those extras with the people in the crowd kind of lowered it a bit, because like they're getting shot, and like there are people who don't know how to just like fall and act like they got shot.
Yeah,
they're like just cowering, or not sure if I should lay down here kind of thing. It's like
you got thousands of actors. It's probably hard to
get
them all to be on the same level.
Apparently, a lot of this stuff was like you said, they were shot in India, and they just let people who want to be part of like the crowd scenes be part of the crowd scenes. A lot of them weren't real actors. I wonder if that was one of the scenes where maybe they got too many people who weren't ready for that.
It wasn't like overacting like the level of Waterloo. Like I complained about that. The actors and they're like going like and falling a little bit. It wasn't like that. Like,
I thought this was worse.
No, I didn't think it was worse. I thought it was better done than that.
Oh, and then I have a note in here about the one Indian guy. I think he becomes like the Pakistani and Prime Minister or whatever.
Yeah.
But he's got like a monocle and a swatch of white hair, like a streak of white hair going down. Like, this guy's a fucking villain.
He definitely looks like a James Bond villain or something like that.
He acts like a dick too, but he's not out. He's not overtly villainous.
Yeah.
But he just seems like he's stuck up dick.
He definitely didn't seem like he was on board 100% with what Gandhi was trying to do, but he knew that in order to like win the people over, he needed to kind of like work with Gandhi in that sense.
But like with the well, because people were jumping in the well to avoid the gunfire.
Yeah.
Did they also die in the well, like drowning?
I don't know. They never really showed like the aftermath in the well. You saw like blood stains
afterwards.
all over it, but you never saw like the people in the well if they like drowned or if they actually got out or anything like that. Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
And then after that, there's the intermission.
Yes, it's a long movie, and I guess and back in the day, I'm sure like a 3-hour movie would have been a long time.
Yeah.
You can do that nowadays. You can still throw intermissions in, but
I've only ever seen one in the Monty Python film.
Yeah.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It's the only time I've seen intermission, but they use it jokingly.
Yeah. This one was used for seriousness because it's a long ass movie, and they're like, an hour and a half in, there's like a 3-minute intermission, just as intermission and just like music playing, black screen.
I wonder, was it really more common back then, like in that time, or
I don't know about in like the 1980s. Like you don't see that in I've never seen that in older movies, but
I don't usually watch long older movies.
That's the thing is I don't know if I've seen any movies this long that are that old. I could see it being like more common in like the 50s and 60s, like back when plays were more of a thing, and then you would have intermissions in between plays. But yeah, it seems a little bit odd that it was in the middle of this 1982 movie.
And then they wrote the drum solo after the intermission. Feels like more padding for time, because there is like a drum solo that starts in the intermission.
Yeah, there was, for sure. I have the same thing, but like the hour and a half mark intermission.
And that's about when Gandhi meets that other woman. She's like a white woman.
Yeah.
I think she's from Britain. Comes there to live.
She's got an English accent. I can't remember where she was from.
But he's like, I'm gonna call you my daughter or something like that, and I thought that was kind of weird, like having a grown woman.
The first time you interact with her too, like you're my daughter.
And
okay.
It also feels kind of like a servant master thing, which I think Gandhi would be against. Like he's like teaching her, telling her how to do things and stuff. It's like, I don't know.
I'm also
strange.
wondering, like, we see that he has like 3 kids at the very beginning of the movie. We never really see anything with them later on in their lives. Like, do they ever like? What is their thoughts on their father?
I looked it up, and I think at least one of them like just didn't want anything to do with him.
Yeah, the son, his father, sort of thing.
Well, because one of them at least was like pretty old when Gandhi really got going with his activism and stuff. Like he's probably like 18 or early 20s and stuff.
Okay.
The other ones are a little bit younger, but
Yeah.
because his wife says at one point, like, oh, he's celibate or whatever. Did he ever slip or something? She's like, I think she says like 3 or 4 times. How many kids
Yeah,
they have?
I think she said he tried 4 times and then not since or something.
Yeah, so then that's like their kids is what I gathered from that.
Yeah, that's I'm assuming that's what it was too. And I was just when he's like weaving like with the loom or whatever, he's making the thread. I don't remember whatever he makes whatever garments. He sits in such an awkward side position.
Yeah.
It's like that does not look comfortable at all. It's like, that's how Gandhi would sit for hours at a time.
That it is. I can't say I can remember it directly, but I'm pretty sure I did have seen stuff like that.
I'm assuming if that's all Ben Kingsley's doing, he's just doing it to copy Gandhi, but that does not look comfortable at all. I would not want to sit like that for hours.
And then it kind of gets into like forming of India.
Yeah.
And like the uniting together. But like I thought it was funny because like all this time, all the stuff that's happening in India, we see so many times that it's like Indians in the police force beating other Indians and badly.
Yeah.
Or they kill the police. Like the police go and they beat up some protesters and a whole bunch more chase the police into the police station and they like burn them and kill them and everything. And it's just like,
well, obviously you're not going to have 100% of India behind you. You're going to have people that did get indoctrinated into the British rule.
Yes, but then also in the movie they're like, Gandhi goes on hunger strike until everyone stops fighting, and they're like, okay, everyone, like everyone to stop fighting.
Yeah.
No one's. It's like, so they do seem like 100% is something to look for all the time. They look for all the time.
Yeah, it was pretty finite. He wouldn't stop eating until everybody guns were down, nobody wanted to fight, and it did happen. It was a couple of times he went on his hunger strike.
But that's kind of like how this movie seems to go. Like, to me, this movie has like a lot of ebbs and flows where, okay, South Africa, like he has a protest, a nonviolent protest, and goes to jail, but he gets his way and it goes back. And then he goes to India and he has another protest to get their land back.
Yeah.
And then it goes back. And then it's just him doing like both 3 or 4 big protests.
Yeah.
That's what it all is. Like, until I guess you could say the forming of India is a little bit different, because then it becomes political, where you find out that, like, because Gandhi's always seems to be going against the bigger, clear bad guy, but like when they were forming a country, suddenly there's people with different opinions that weren't exactly bad.
Yeah.
Like the Muslims wanted their own state. They didn't want to be ruled by Hindus. Yeah. And like that's not a bad thing, but at the same time he wants everyone to be together, but they don't really want to be together. You can't force, and that's when he fails. He
kind of makes the statement too, like I'm Hindu, I'm Pakistani, or I'm everything. I'm Christian. I'm Jewish. He said I'm everything. So he's not for any one specific side, and that's what he wants like the world to like be like as well too. And you can see it definitely is putting strain on like his relationships with like all of his like political council and stuff like that as well too, because they're like, no dude, you can't just do that. You can't everybody can't just obviously stop fighting because they just want to stop. Like, obviously there's different reasons for why they're fighting.
I do wonder how Gandhi has such a big house. Like, it's kind of like a commune almost, his house. And it's like, for a guy that hasn't had like done any lawyering this entire film, like, how do you have such a big house that supports like your family, all these other people that just moved in with you? Like, how could you have all that? Like, was Gandhi from a rich family, or did he get like a ton of donations or something like that? Or
I'm pretty sure that he would have got like donations from all over the world.
And at one point, Gandhi also says that the British Empire is evil. I'm like, whoa! Like, Gandhi would sit there and literally label a certain group of people as being. It's like they're specifically.
That's painting a big brush over.
So it's like, did he actually say that, or is that something in the movie?
Yeah, true. That's like something a Jedi would say about the Sith.
Yeah.
They always deal in absolutes.
And then the big thing he does is he makes salt. That was the big protest too, which I was disappointed by, because he does this big march because he's going to go to the ocean to make salt. Yeah. And he gets there and he just picks some up and that's it. That's all we see. It's like, there's no more to making salt than just going to the beach and picking it up.
That's what it was. It was just the salt water. Salt. That's what it seemed like.
And then I have to point out that John Ratzenberger was in this film.
And I was going to say, that's when we meet Candice Bergen, is when John Ratzenberger is driving her.
He's there for like 30 seconds.
That was not his voice.
Was it?
Okay. That was not his. I was like, this sounds nothing like John Ratzenberger. He's got a thick Boston accent. He didn't sound like him at all. And then I found out later on that they dubbed his voice for some reason.
Okay, I thought maybe he was doing a different voice for that role for some reason.
I was like, if he is doing a really good job of not sounding like himself, but I found out that like it was actually for some reason they got Martin Sheen to dub his voice. I don't know why they got Martin Sheen to do it. He's already a character.
They had him cut off from the press, but last month his personal secretary died, so they let up on restrictions.
But why? Why'd they need to dub his voice in the first place?
Maybe they thought it was distracting.
Maybe that accent of his, that Boston accent, was just too. Then why hire him to be that role?
Seems weird.
I thought it was strange that they would dub his lines. He was only in it for like 20 seconds, maybe a minute.
Maybe someone just like decided like, oh, he's a friend of the producer or something. We'll get him a part in the thing, and then like the director was like, okay, we'll use him, but he's not getting.
We're not using
his dialogue.
voice.
We're not using his dialogue.
We get to pay him less too because his voice is not actually in the movie.
I don't know. That was strange. Like I said, I just thought he was doing a different voice. But
I didn't think he was doing a different voice. I 100% was like, nah, that's not him. There's no way he can sound like that. I've never not heard him sound like Ham from Toy Story.
Yeah.
Or Cliff from Cheers. So yeah, I thought that was a little strange that they did that. And then I was also like the makeup. I know we mentioned this about, but I thought they did a really good job of aging him, like of making him like for 1982. A lot of times you see makeup and you could see the prosthetics. Where on this movie it was subtle enough to make it still look like a lot like Gandhi, but he was old. Like, it didn't look like a young Ben Kingsley. He had like liver spots and like the thinning hair and stuff like that. It looked like a really well done aged Gandhi.
Yeah, I really noticed it in his voice. Like, I know it's nothing to do with the prosthetics, but like I really noticed in like how he talked and stuff. Like his voice sounded weaker and like frail, and like obviously he moved different. But that's where I was like, wow, Kingsley is knocking it out of the park with changing. And obviously, the makeup helped too.
The only thing I'd say that didn't quite live up to the makeup was his eyes. He still had kind of like youthful eyes. Like, they were very bright white. He didn't have like the older, crusty looking old man eyes. He still had Ben Kingsley's youthful eyes, but you can't really do much with that.
But yeah, then it gets back to where we started at, where he's like,
it's to the assassination.
Yeah, assassination. He talks with Candice Bergman once more, and she actually kind of like hints at it, like, oh, like don't you think you're gonna die soon or something like that? But talking about his, him passing away. Yeah. And then he's like has a feeling, whatever. But he walks out there anyways, and that's it.
Yeah, that was the end of Gandhi. Gandhi is now gone.
Gone with the wind.
So that's going to do it for like a synopsis of the movie. Next, we'd like to do the good, the bad, and the ugly of the movie. So the ugly doesn't need to be necessarily anything bad about the movie. It's just something that stood out. Something that you liked it, actually. It was just something that stood out in this movie that you want to bring forward to the light. So starting with the good, you want to go first?
Sure. I mean, it's got to be Ben Kingsley in my book. Like, he was phenomenal. Like, it's not just, like I said, I didn't think it was just because he played him good when he was old, but even when he was young and everything in between, he knocks it out of the park. Like, it's like just the look and the act. It's not like, just being, a painting of a guy, but you're actually acting like him, speaking like him and stuff. Yeah. Fantastic.
And that's my good too. Is Ben Kingsley? He was Gandhi. Like, I never felt like I was looking at an actor. I was looking at the guy who was Gandhi. Like, he embodied the role perfectly, and it's understandable why he won that Oscar, because he did an amazing job. That is 100% the best part of this movie is Ben Kingsley's portrayal. And then I'll do the bad first. So for me, it's probably the length of the movie. It's over 3 hours long. We talked about some things you could have cut, like maybe that train sequence could have been a bit shorter. Some of the politics of things could have been maybe trimmed a little bit as well too. I mean, it is a good thing that we're getting all this, so we kind of understand the reasoning behind everything. But yes, we could have trimmed it just a little bit. It is a longer movie. It's a movie I might not watch ever again because it is so long, but it is still good. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I feel like this movie, like I said, we see the ebbs and flows, but it's just kind of like watch Gandhi protest, and then he protests again. So that's probably why I wouldn't really want to watch it again. But anyways, my bad. It's just like the extras when they're reacting to violence or being shot or something. I thought it all looked terrible. And not just the part where they get shot, but like at the salt mine where they're trying to walk into the salt mine, they get hit and just doesn't look good. Like, they get hit and people just don't react right, or they're hitting them like they're trying not to hurt them, and it doesn't look real, or like, I don't know. I think you're using props. This is a movie after all, but It's just, I never thought it looked good.
Okay, I could see that. And then we'll go to the ugly, if you want to do your ugly first.
Yeah. Gandhi's ears. Everything else is good. But I thought they looked fake like a good chunk of the time, and sometimes it just seemed miscolored. Again, like it was kind of like more like a waxy yellow instead of like a skin tone, and I was just like, I just noticed it. It seems off.
Okay. Mine is it's a standout moment of the movie. It's the slaughtering of all the Indian people, and it's obviously a real thing that happened, and I thought it stood out because the rest of the movie wasn't nearly as violent, and this kind of comes out of nowhere. I mean, you see it coming because of the people like marching towards them, but it was ugly because it was an ugly moment in history, so it makes sense. So that's it for our good, bad, and ugly. Next, we like to do some online reviews where we look up the professional reviews, like this fellow does. He does Metacritic and Rotten Tomatoes and whatnot. He looks up a bunch of people's professional reviews. I like to look up, Joe Schmo down the road, Letterboxd, just anybody can put a review up there, and I might read it. So we'll start with the professional stuff first.
Like you said, I get my stuff off Metacritic. I try to go something high, middle, in between, and I don't have to necessarily agree with them, but just that I understand where they're coming from and their point of view. So, starting with The Telegraph. Attenborough's stately film is in every sense of the word an epic, and Ben Kingsley is superb as Mahatma Gandhi, aging as he does 50 years during the 3-hour film and transforming from dapper young lawyer to loincloth-wearing ascetic. Score of 100 out of 100.
Oh, wow.
So that perfect movie is what they're saying, and I think it's good. I think it does a good job at showing a lot of Gandhi's life, definitely. The portrayal's amazing for the character himself.
Yeah.
And like I said, the aging part, like I already said, that was something that stuck out to me. Not just acting as one young version or an old version, but doing the whole gambit.
Exactly.
So next I have from Empire. Kingsley's central performance. The film will always deserve to be seen for this alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a score of 80 out of 100.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, like it's all about Kingsley. Like there really isn't a story without him, obviously. But yeah, like it's so phenomenal. Like I want to watch more to see like how he stands out portraying real people that you're acquainted with, and how he does it so much differently in such a more full way. I guess. I'd
be interested in seeing a bit of a bit of a behind the scenes too. I would like to see maybe even hear a little bit of how he decided to be this character, how he decided to embody, and like what he took from the actual Gandhi, and like what he wanted to use as his version.
And then the New Yorker, Ben Kingsley, who plays the Mahatma, looks the part, has a fine, quiet presence, and conveys Gandhi's shrewdness. Kingsley is impressive. The picture isn't. Score of 60 out of 100, which I also agree. Like I think Kingsley's great, but a lot of the stuff that happens around him in the story is just kind of feels repetitive or a little bit dry, especially in those scenes.
Yeah.
Which we get a lot of, where they're just sitting around with all these different politicians talking about what's best for India. And, here we go again.
And that's kind of what I expected going into this movie too. Was a lot of that was going to be part of this movie, because you knew it wasn't going to be a lot of the physical stuff. There is a lot of the physical stuff, but you knew it was going to be a lot of the political stuff, and that's what he's fighting against. So me, like I said, I like to do Joe Schmo down the road. These are my Letterboxd reviews. I like to start with the low ones first. So this is a 1/2-star review. I got a few 1/2-star reviews just because they're super short. I'm going to say them. So 1/2-star review. A movie you're forced to watch in class. 1/2-star review. Holy propaganda.
I think that's where Muskeg saw his in class, he said.
Did he? Okay, we never watched this in school. 1/2 star. Stupid ass movie. Propaganda bullshit. And then last 1/2-star review I think I have is stupid movie and too long.
I wonder if all the ones that just call it propaganda, if they're like, because like the guys that shot him were part of like a movement, like a political group, and like they're actually were against Gandhi. So I wonder if those reviews are like from
maybe this is just them, bringing the reviews down because they're against the whole political view.
Yeah, he's not our savior or big, figure.
Then I got a 3-star review here. Maybe my rating will change for this film in the future. For now, all I can say is Ben Kingsley was brilliant. I appreciate this film, but can't see myself watching this film again in the future. And that's literally kind of how I'm thinking. Like he was brilliant in this movie. It is well done, but I don't feel like I'm gonna need to watch it ever again. It almost feels like one of those essential movies that you should watch in case you don't really know much about Gandhi. This is a good way to kind of understand all that stuff. So I feel like it's one of those essential type movies to watch, even if I haven't seen it until now. Then my last one is a 5-star review. This movie goes way harder than it needed to. The 4K is outstanding and is still poignant in 2026. Acting is wonderful. It's a bit long, but a fantastically shot and acted movie. So, I mean, I can understand some of that too. It is a beautifully shot movie, even for 1982. It's Ben Kingsley, just fantastic.
I don't know if I would say go harder, but like the only thing that goes hard is Kingsley doing that impersonation.
Yeah,
that's good.
Exactly. I guess apparently he based like he saw some videos. He watched like 5 hours of like videos of Gandhi, and that's kind of where he indoctrinated his idea of how to play the role.
Yeah,
that was just something that I found was interesting. So we actually did have some footage of him that he used. But yeah, now we can go into, I guess, our reviews of the movie.
Sure. You want to start?
Who went first last time? I went first last time, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, you go first this time.
Yeah, so I just thought, I did think the movie was good, showing like excellent portrayal of Gandhi, but it feels like it's on repeat. We just see him getting beaten up, imprisoned, eventually winning his argument. It's not very personal. It just, he always gets what he wants, and it happens like at least 3 times.
True.
It just gets repetitive, I find. By the third time, you're like, yes, okay, whatever. And there's like no real personal conflict, which I got to point out actually, that the guy who shot him, when we see him shoot him, like there was like a guy in a car with like long hair who like gives a nod to the assassin before he does it.
Yeah.
But we saw him, like he gets introduced to Gandhi earlier on at the film, and it's like, okay, well, what was that? Like I would like to know. We had no scenes about what built up there. Like if we got some scenes showing how that built up and whatever, might have made it a little bit more interesting, feel a little bit more personal or something. But yeah, the movie just feels like we're doing the same thing, showing how Gandhi can protest over and over. So it's good, great, like I said, great portrayal, but just kind of boring, especially when you see that for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
Yeah, rinse, repeat sort of thing.
I give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay. And I agree with a lot of things that you say as well too. It is a lot of wash, rinse, repeat sort of thing. He's doing a lot of, and I do wonder, like, were there any things that he protested against that he actually failed at? Because it seems like every protest he did, he was successful at in this movie. I wonder, like, in his life, did he fail at any of those protests?
Well, like if he called getting India and Pakistan to stay together, then that would be a failure. But he didn't really protest that hard to make them stay.
True.
To stop fighting, yes, but to stay together, he never got the chance though. And
I know the Indian people really see him as like this big savior. I'll say one fun fact here is when they were talking about making this movie, they had a big questionnaire of the people of India, like how do you want this movie to be made, and the one lady came up and said he should be like a glowing light. He's untouchable, just a glowing light throughout the whole movie. And then the director, Richard Attenborough, said, well, he's not goddamn Tinkerbell, is what he said to us. So that's kind of funny. It's like, he is still a human being. He's got to bring her down to earth a little bit here. But my review is, I did enjoy this movie. It was long and a lot of, like we said, rinse, repeat sort of thing. But Ben Kingsley's performance was just fantastic, and I do think it is one of those essential type movies. So I give it a bit of a bump. I give it an 8 out of 10. Is what I gave it. So it's not too far off yours, but
if they trimmed out some of the fat, I would probably bump it up to an 8 as well. Just that it's so stretched out as well. That's really
true.
Kills it for me.
True. But yeah, that is our review of Ben Kingsley in Gandhi. So you can find us a bunch of different places. Where can we find you?
I am The Lewis Lightning. You can find me on Twitch when I'm playing something. You can also find me on YouTube as The Lewis Lightning. Both those all one word. Like The Lewis Lightning is all one word on both those websites to find me. My YouTube is just like older PS3 gameplay videos you can check out there.
You can find me as countryboy_9 a bunch of different places, but I'm also known as countryboy9er, also a bunch of different places, like right here on YouTube where I unbox stuff, or I'm on Letterboxd, I'm on Instagram. Check me out, I'm a whole bunch of different places. But another channel you can find both of us, plus a friend of ours who suggested this movie, Mr. Muskeg, on Wasted Opinions. It's a channel where we talk about movies, TV shows, video games, comic books, wrestling, food, music, what have you, and the like. We talk about everything. Check out that channel as well, too. before we go, our next month, our next theme is going to be something along the lines of Gandhi. I don't know if you were expecting this, but robots.
I was like, I know what we had in the bank, but I was like, I don't know what fits with this.
It's going to be the month of robots. So it could be a movie that has robots in it, or a movie that's strictly just about robots. So however you want to interpret that, that's what it's going to be, okay? That's what our next month is. The month of May, I suppose it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you next month.
The Mahatma.
The Mahatma of robots. I don't know. Cool. I had no idea how to start. I was like, what the hell? I'll do a Gone joke.
Just do his iconic. I'm not going to eat this whole interview or this whole review.
Oh,
Just gonna go on a food
yeah, gonna go on a
hunger strike.
Hunger strike. Yeah, fast.